Well, we've talked about Nintendo Switch Online and the service as a whole at length on this channel because it is the one actively updated online subscription service that continues to evolve month in and month out. And while the update roadmap schedule for the expansion pack has been called into question in recent months more than ever before in the service's history since launch, there are still plenty of other avenues that Nintendo can continue to build value in this service for both base tier subscribers and expansion pack subscribers alike. And in today's video, we have to go over the newest update that was announced for Nintendo Switch Online in the form of a game trial and break down and discuss where Nintendo is really at with this service in 2023 and have a very honest conversation on what we need to see them add into this service to truly make it competitive in the modern gaming subscription market going forward. What's up, Nation? If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you join Sunbro Nation by subscribing below. Hit the like button on this video if you enjoy it today. Make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. And as I mentioned, guys, today we are talking about all things Nintendo Switch Online. First with the reason why it is in the news and the latest update to the service, and then really a broad conversation of where we are at today with the subscription service in 2023 when you honestly and objectively compare it to the competition, even for its lower price point on the base tier and the more expensive price point on the expansion pack tier. But to first get on the same page with exactly what's been announced in terms of the next free game trial, which is Nintendo's way of kind of offering not a full free game like you see with PlayStation Plus and Xbox games with Gold/Game Pass, but rather a way to promote an existing game, give users a week free to check it out, play it to its entirety. To be fair, if you really want to grind it through one of these games that is on the free game trial, you can actually do that because it is a full game download. But after that 1 week, this game is gone. You can't add it to your library, save it for later. It is a way to get you to look at the game, try it out, and hopefully buy it at the end of it. And they often package the game with some kind of sale going on afterwards. And you can see the following posted up over on Nintendo Life, where it says Nintendo's next Switch game trial has been announced for online subscribers, switching things up next week. Nintendo has announced that Uno is set to be the next free game trial for Nintendo Switch Online subscribers in Europe. The freebie is available to download from the Switch eShop right now, but won't be playable until the trial begins on 19th of January. Now, first off, at the time of filming this video, this has only been officially announced for the European region, but you would expect probably the same free trial or something to a similar game to come to the North American region, and Japan has their own game trials going on. So depending on where you're at in the world, sometimes it is a different title and different dates. But first off, we just have to talk about this objectively at face value. We are getting a free game trial for a card game on the Nintendo Switch, which is, to be fair, a fun game to play with friends. But this is the state we are at in 2023 with this online subscription service, that this is not a free game that we get to add into our library and keep. This is not just a extra perk. This is them trying to sell us Uno and letting us play it for 1 week free. And the free game trial is just the way to promote the game. It is really nothing more than that. It might as well be a demo service, which we have, to be fair, seen Nintendo finally hop on board with, because you know historically they have always been behind the times when it comes to online functionality, whether that be the lack of a direct on-system chat where you can message or even hop into voice groups with your friends. And there are tons of opinions on why Nintendo might not ever want to get into that, but even if they need to outsource it to Discord like we are seeing a lot of services do, I think you could make a case that in 2023 we should have that basic functionality and not have to rely on a smartphone app to be able to communicate with friends. And while they've rolled out recently the missions and rewards section that is kind of somewhat akin to a achievement/trophy system, it is still nowhere near that in terms of actual core functionality, and you can earn platinum points and things for doing different missions and rewards, but there is no additional incentive tied to your profile to go get you to 100% a game or do everything the developers intended to have that badge of honor that says, yeah, I found all 900 Korok seeds in Breath of the Wild and I got that trophy and that unlocked the platinum, or whatever Nintendo would choose to brand it as. There is nothing like that that you can show off on your online profile when it comes to being a Nintendo Switch gamer. So the free game trial system, while it's not a bad idea, and I actually think with certain titles it makes sense, it is also very apparent to me that we have had zero communication at this point in time as being a paid expansion pack subscriber, that we don't know when the next N64 game is going to drop. Will it be GoldenEye this month? There's a lot of talk online around that, and we may make a separate video on it soon. That's entirely possible, but the idea and the topic point around this is we skip December altogether. Yes, we got two N64 games, being Mario Party 1 and 2 in November, but we had also skipped September before then when they just updated the game's roadmap and didn't actually put out an N64 game. Then they used the term gradually over the course of time, adding in the rest of the roadmap of N64 games, and there's zero commitment and communication to paying subscribers that have given Nintendo 12 months of a membership up front, because that's the only way you can purchase the expansion pack at this point in time. And while the free game trial news isn't tied to the expansion pack, because that is tied to the base tier of the service, you also have to look around and realize that if you're a base tier subscriber, you've gotten nothing in recent months besides the ability to do save cloud data and just play online games, and that is still ringing in at $20 annually or $3.99 a month. So in my opinion, while I don't think we will see a big overhaul to the service or giant leap forward from Nintendo on the current generation of hardware, I am hopeful that they realize that online gaming with friends and connectivity is here to stay, and they really need to beef up their offerings, because even if you just look around the room and see what Sony recently announced for their PlayStation Plus game catalog update, you're getting Back 4 Blood, Devil May Cry 5, Life is Strange, Dragon Ball FighterZ, amongst many others, and you can make the argument that it is a more expensive annual price point, but not by much, because those games are coming in at the base tier, and that is $60 annually to be a Plus subscriber on Sony. And while Game Pass is something of a different model altogether, being more expensive, but the idea being that you can play all of the mainline AAA titles without having to purchase them, that is a different service. But Sony's is very comparable to Nintendo, and you have things like the ability to add these free monthly games into your library and keep them. They are not giving you 1 week to check out these games and then go buy them at full cost or at a discounted sale price. They are actually letting you build out your entire games library for continuing to be a PlayStation Plus subscriber, and I really think we should see something similar at this point in time offered from Nintendo, especially if we are going to be talking about less frequent and less reliable updates when it comes to new N64 games being added in, as that is definitely the biggest selling point around that $50 annual asking price for the expansion pack. And even if they only want to include those free games and something you can add into your library as part of the expansion pack tier, I just think it's time for Nintendo to look at the true value that they are offering for continued paid subscribers and not make it something that is an afterthought, because we know from financial investor briefings that this is a huge chunk of their revenue, and they can absolutely reinvest into their fan base and make sure that subscription renewals are happening. And I think they really only do that successfully if they objectively look at what they are offering today and realize that it is just not enough in comparison to the competition and the landscape of where we are at with gaming subscription services in 2023. But I really want to hear from you guys on this particular topic. How are you feeling about where we are at with Nintendo Switch Online today, both the base tier service and the expansion pack? If you were just a base tier subscriber, do you honestly feel like you've gotten nothing over the recent months other than these free game trials? Because we haven't seen any kind of updates for NES or SNES games anytime recently, and I don't necessarily think we're going to anytime soon. And if you're an expansion pack tier subscriber, how are you feeling about the value as a whole between the sporadic N64 releases now and the DLC editions that you have access to with the expansion pack? Do you feel like it's enough, or do you feel like Nintendo does definitely need to step up their offerings? And would you be happy with things like new free games being added in that you can just add to your collection and not do this 1 week free game trial that you have to either beat the game in 1 week or choose to purchase it? And bonus question, do you think Nintendo will ever implement direct messages and online voice chat on system, meaning you don't need to have that silly smartphone app? And are you personally a fan of achievement/trophy systems, and do you want to see them come to the Switch at all? So regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today, I do look forward to hearing from you all in the comments down below before you leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around these topics. Go watch yesterday's video next if you haven't already, which is on screen right now. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.